Take two. Hi. I want to talk about Dandy's World and the characters and how good they are. I'm going to do it in order of when they were released, just because I feel like going in alphabetical order is the other way to do this, and if I have to start with Blot and then go into Boxton, the whiplash will literally kill me. And it's also easier to see how the later toons just completely blow the earlier ones out of the water. We're going to start with Boxton. Boxton is a good toon. He's default stats across the board, and his passive ability does just let you extract a little faster as long as everyone's alive. But that versatility is what makes him good. Default stats means that he can just be good in any situation you need him to. He can get away from Twisteds if he needs to. He can extract if he needs to. He can do pretty much anything. And the little boost to extraction speed is pretty good. If you're in a lobby of 8 people and you're all good and you're going down the floor 3 trillion or whatever the hell the high score is these days, this is not a bad toon to have. Is he the best toon? No. But he's not bad. Especially since you get him for free. You can start the game with Boxton. I think Boxton is very good. Now, I did say very good, but then I'm not putting him in that tier. He's not the peak. He's not the pinnacle. But Boxton is good. I would not say that Boxton is bad. You might think he's bad based on the people you've seen play Boxton, but he's not bad. Now, someone who is bad. I hate to say this about Poppy because she's very cute. And I love women. But Poppy is terrible. Poppy does have default stats, so she can do pretty much whatever Boxton can, but Poppy is the closest character in the game to having no ability. A movement speed boost on taking damage is truly terrible because you don't want to take damage, ever. This is just not a good ability. And the fact that when you start the game, you can choose Boxton or Poppy for free, and that Boxton has utility. Boxton has a thing that he's good at, whereas Poppy has nothing that she's truly good at. It's sad. And I'm making this video while the very first Toon of the Week thing is going on, the Sprout one. I'm hoping when Poppy Week rolls around, just give her a new ability. Just make her do something. Personally, I would give her a little speed boost while she's being looked at by a Twisted, not while she's taking damage. It's horrible. God. But that's just what I think. And as much as I love Poppy, she is going in the bad zone because she truly doesn't do much of anything. I love her, but now Shrimpo, he's a special case, as you can obviously see by the fact that he has his own containment zone, which I'll just drop him in right now. Shrimpo is not a good character. He's truly terrible. But that's the point. As you can see from his stats and his ability, he's made to be a challenge character. He's supposed to be bad at everything. And he excels at that. So, like, I would put him all the way up in very good, because he does what he's supposed to. But by design, he is very bad. So we're going to put him in his own little zone, but just know, I think Shrimpo's damn near perfect. I wouldn't change anything about him. Especially his dialogue. His dialogue is all perfect. Toodles. My least favorite Twisted, that's for goddamn sure. Toodles is fine. I honestly think Toodles is a very good starter character, which makes sense because she's extremely cheap, so most people new to the game will probably buy Toodles very quickly. She has close to default stats, but she moves 1 star out of extraction and into stealth. Which means that when you're playing Toodles, you are kind of a jack of all trades, good at whatever, but the higher stealth means that you can evade Twisteds easier, let them chase other people while you go around doing whatever. Unfortunately, usually when you're going around doing whatever, you're supposed to be doing the machines, and she's not great at them. She's okay. There are worse characters at machines, Cosmo, but she's not great. She does get her own little ability, where every 25 seconds you can press F, or whatever you bind it to. I forget if you can rebind keys. And you get a 15% boost to a random stat for 10 seconds. It's funny. It makes a funny sound. But it's not very, it's not inspiring. It's not, no one's building around this. It's not anything crazy. Especially since it's random. Like, you roll, you press F, you get a stealth up. Oh, who fucking cares? You get an extraction speed up. I mean, that's nice, but your extraction speed's pretty bad. You get a speed up, well, are you currently moving around, or are you doing a machine? It's really... She doesn't really do much, but she is a nice starter character, and that she helps someone new to the game evade the Twisteds a little bit easier, and just get a better handle on the game. Whereas if you're playing Poppy or Boxton, maybe you're getting hit a lot because you're new to the game. Is she good? No. But she's not bad. She's just outclassed by pretty much everyone else, but she's a good starter character. I do think you could maybe do something with Toodles, but I don't know. She does what she's supposed to do. She's not supposed to do much, but she does it. Razdaz. Oh, Razdaz. This is a funny character. Razdaz looks like the stats are default, but that's not true. You read the ability, and when you're on an odd floor, you get 5 movement speed and 1 extraction speed. And when you're on an even floor, you get 1 movement speed and 5 extraction speed. This is, I mean, honestly, kind of bad. Usually you want to be good at the one thing you're doing the whole time, because that's what you do the whole time. But with Razdaz, you have to switch what you're doing every floor. On the odd floors, you're so fast and you're so bad at machines that you're kind of supposed to be a distractor. You get the attention of all the Twisteds and you loop them off in a corner while everyone else does the machines. Now, with 5 movement speed, you're tied with Pebble, who's much better than you at this. But you do get 3-star stamina while you're doing it, which is fine, I guess. On even floors, you have 5-star extraction speed and 1-star speed. 1-star speed is really, really bad. If you get a Twisted on your ass with 1-star speed, it is an ordeal to get away from them. And you will probably, sometimes, you'll probably just get hit. So, listen, I think Razdaz's gimmick is pretty funny, and I like it. It's just that it's hard to work with. But I think it can be pretty fun. Now, but what I said stands. Usually if you want to be good at something, you do it the whole time. Because if you put on 2 trinkets with this, if you put on a plus extraction speed trinket with this, it only helps you half the time. If you put on a plus movement speed thing, it only helps you half the time. So, I think Razdaz is kind of fine. I want them to be better, but they're just kind of fine, unfortunately. I think, honestly, moving the stats around a little bit just so that they maybe have better stealth or stamina, no matter what floor, it might be nice. But I think for what Razdaz is supposed to do, they're fine. The dreaded Roger. Roger is fine. Roger's a good character. Roger just has a very specific... what's the word? A very specific role in the community. A very specific thing that he does. And that's his ability of giving you double the research when you're researching. Which, I'm not going to go into research right now. But the thing with Roger is that his entire role is to be a stepping stone. You play Roger to get the research for better characters so you can play them instead of Roger. No one likes playing Roger. But if we ignore the research thing and just look at Roger for what he is, his stats aren't terrible. Close to default, but he moves a star from movement to extraction. So he kind of is like Boxton, where you're pretty well-rounded, but you lean towards doing machines. He's a little bit slower, but he can deal with that. 2-star is not terrible. You can work with 2-star movement speed. I do that all the time. Most of my favorites have 2-star. So I think Roger's a good character, and I can honestly see like picking like, I want to play Roger right now. I want to be kind of balanced but lean towards doing the machines. I could see someone doing that. It's just that Roger's whole thing is helping you not play Roger. So, not that inspiring of a character. Brightney. Brightney's base. Brightney's S tier. If I was ranking them by how much I like playing them. Brightney is really funny because she has 1-star stealth, which is not common. Only a few characters get 1-star stealth. And what this means is that if there's ever a Twisted in the same fucking zip code as Brightney, Brightney's being chased by that Twisted. But you can make that work. A lot of people will look at 3-star movement and say that's not good enough to be a distractor. It is good enough. If you put on the right trinkets, you can distract, not the really dangerous things like Pebble, but you can distract most Twisteds with Brightney easy peasy. And when you're not distracting with Brightney, you are good at machines. 4-star extraction speed and 3-star skill check. That's pretty good at machines. The downside with Brightney is that when you're trying to do machines, whenever someone moves by you with a Twisted, suddenly you're not doing machines, you're running for your life. And her ability. Her ability is very good, but you can only use it during a blackout, where it highlights Twistas. And, I mean, we all hate blackouts, but they happen randomly. So whenever there's not one, which we don't want there to be one, but whenever there's not one, Brightney has no ability. Which sucks. It just really sucks. I love Brightney. I think if I could change anything about her, I would let her use her ability once on a floor that's not a blackout. And then if it is a blackout, just let her spam it. Like, make the cooldown really short and let her use it multiple times. Make her the anti-blackout toon. I think that would be a great niche for her. But as she is, she's still pretty good. I like her a lot. I'm not ranking this horizontally. Otherwise, Brightney would just clear. But Brightney's good. She would be up here if her ability wasn't non-existent 9 times out of 10. Water break. Drink your water. Next up, Goob. Goob is good. Not much more to say. He is one of the first distractor toons that people will probably have access to. And he's quite good at it. He's bad at machines, 2-star extraction speed. But 2-star stealth is very good. You can draw the Twisteds away from most of the rest of the cast. They won't even look at them. They'll be too busy looking at you. And then you have 4-star movement and stamina, so you are completely fine in the chase. You outwalk most things, and you've got tons of stamina to work with to get away from really dangerous Twisteds. On top of that, he's got the hug ability, where you can target an ally and kind of grab them and pull them to you. Now, this doesn't help you while you're distracting a Twisted, because if you do this during that, you'll just stop moving, let the Twisted hit you, and pull someone directly into danger. Pretty funny, but not very helpful. But the hug is useful. I've seen people pull other people towards items just to show them, hey, there's a medkit here, take it. Or they'll get into the elevator before someone else, and then they'll look out there and grab someone who's low on stamina, pull them towards the elevator, and just safely pull them to safety. It's pretty good. And that's got a short cooldown too. Goob is just very solid. I think there's almost nothing I would change. His ability is situational but useful, and his stats are extremely solid. And I think if his ability was any better, he would be completely overtuned, because his stat spread is really, really good. So, Goob is the first up here and very good. I don't like playing Goob very much, but I have to admit he's very good. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for Scraps. I love Scraps, but what is this stat spread? Like, what is this? Scraps is kind of the opposite of Goob, where instead of pulling people to you, you pull yourself to people. Although they updated eventually, you can pull yourself to machines. I remember back when she couldn't even do that, and that was really bad. But now she can pull herself to machines, and she can pull herself to other people. Doesn't really matter, because sure, she can pull herself somewhere. She has 5-star stamina. She has so much stamina to work with, she doesn't need to pull herself places, she can just run. She's always got stamina. And then since she's slow. She's 2-star movement speed, so she's not a distractor. But then she's 2-star skill check and only 3-star extraction speed, so she's worse than default at machines. She has all this stamina for nothing. I don't know what for. I think Scraps is a very cute character. I love the design. I don't really know what she's supposed to do. So she kind of ends up in the same tier as Toodles, where you just kind of... She's fine. She does something. But she also kind of doesn't do anything. Which is too bad, because I like her. The moon. Despicable Me clip here. Astro is our first main that we're talking about. And the main thing to know, haha, pun, the main thing with mains is that instead of 3 health, they have 2. Which means that they get one extra star in their stat spread. Most toons have, 3 and everything, 3 times 5, 15 stars. But then the mains move a point out of health and into their other stats. So they have 16 across all their other stuff, but they only have 2 HP. They also get to have 2 abilities instead of 1. So we look at Astro. Stat spread, honestly not that crazy for a main. Crazy stealth, everything else close to default. 2-star skill check, and 2 HP, obviously. So the stats are really nothing to write home about. I mean, 5-star stealth is nice. It means that Astro's whole thing is not dealing with the Twisteds. You're just like a background character, essentially. You're just always there, but never in trouble until everyone else is in trouble. Or, I guess, has been in trouble. Once they're all dead, then you're in trouble. But Astro is a very good support toon because of the abilities. Well, for one, let's look at ability 2 real quick, the passive. You regenerate stamina faster. That doesn't really matter. But you can also see everyone else who's below 50% stamina. That's useful. I mean, just being able to see people through walls, that's useful. That's information. But that's also helpful because of your active ability, which you can run up to someone and press a button, and you fully restore the stamina of anyone near you. You can only do this once every minute. This is really, really good. Any slow character running towards the elevator who runs out of stamina, you can run up, give them stamina, they'll make it to the elevator. A distractor who's dealing with a lot of dangerous twisteds, you can run in there, you have huge stealth so the twisteds won't even care, and then you can press your button, refill the stamina of the distractor, and suddenly they're good to keep distracting for a while. Astro is an amazing support. I think there's a high skill ceiling, and you need communication. The Astro is better if you're in a Discord voice call with your distractor, because you need to know like when people are starting to struggle so you can get in there and help them. But if everyone else on your team knows what they're doing, then having an Astro is always a good thing and highly appreciated. Astro is extremely good. And honestly, I think the balanced stats are to his benefit. Astro can do pretty much whatever, and then also run in and help people. V is also a main. Now, unfortunately for V, she's not quite as good as Astro. Some people might think I'm crazy for saying that, but I love V. I think she's one of the worst of the mains. If we look at her stats, she's machine focused. 4-star skill check, 5-star extraction speed. Very, very good at machines. And then if we just ignore the other stats for a second, look at the ability 2 specifically. Nearest 2 uncompleted machines are highlighted for you. And when you're in game, what this means is that the closest machines, the 2 closest machines to you are flashing through walls. Green if no one's on them, white if someone's on them. This is really good information to have. You can tell someone where a machine is, and also you can see if people are on the last few machines, and you can just go back to the elevator. You also have an active ability you can use every 50 seconds to highlight all the machines and all the twisteds on the floor for everyone for 5 seconds. This is crazy good information gathering, and it's great for everyone else. Of course, your team needs to be good and really like take it all in that 5 seconds, but it's a very, very good ability. There's one problem though. Well, there's 2 problems. The movement speed and the stealth. The stealth is the huge, huge problem with V. 2-star stealth is really bad for V specifically because she's not a distractor. She's trying to do machines. And there are so many distractors. I mean, there's some good ones who have this, same stealth as you, like Goob, so if Goob runs by, you're fine. And, like, we'll talk about Gordy eventually, but Gordy has 1-star stealth, so you're fine with there. But, like, so often you'll be trying to do a machine, and then someone runs by you with a fucking twisted poppy, and you're so slow, you gotta spend all your stamina running away and breaking line of sight. And then another twisted gets on you, and you get hit, and you're near dead because you only have 2 HP. It's... oh my god. V is so tiring. I love playing as V, but you need to carefully position yourself and know where the twists are at all times. So even though you're so good at machines, you spend a lot of time just running away and not doing machines, and it kind of sucks. But I can't say that V is bad. V is still very good. Well, yeah. The information is just really good, especially if you're in a call. It's just that, oh my god, the freaking stealth. The next main, Pebble. Very well-known toon for his ability to run in circles. This is the polar opposite of V, where you are god-awful at machines, but my god, can you distract. 5-star movement, 4-star stamina. You can deal with basically anything in the game as Pebble for pretty much as long as you want. And if you start to get in a dicey situation, boom, that's when Astro helps you. It doesn't fucking matter. That's Pebble. And then Pebble's abilities, well, the passive doesn't matter. You can smell items. They're highlighted when you run by them. That doesn't matter. Sometimes you'll be running in a circle as Pebble, and then you see a bandage through a wall, so you move to go get it. Great. Whatever. It kind of doesn't matter. It kind of feels like, you know, oh, mains are supposed to have 2 abilities, so we just kind of cooked up a passive for Pebble because we had to. The active is crazy good. Every minute, Pebble can bark. Makes a funny sound. It goes rarf. And it lowers your stealth to, like, astronomically terrible levels, which means that every Twisted that sees you will target you over everyone else for a while. This is important because Pebble's biggest downside is his stealth stat. Pebble wants to have 1-star stealth so badly. Instead, Pebble has 3-star stealth. This means that you stealth tie with a lot of the cast, which is really bad. It means that you'll be running in circles with your Twisteds. Boxton, who's new to the game, gets too close, and all the Twisteds target him instead of you. You don't want that. It also means that all the toons with 2-star stealth, V, Goob, Glisten, etc., if they walk into the same room as you, suddenly all the Twisteds don't care about you and want to kill that person, and they probably weren't expecting it and aren't ready for that. So then you have to bark. Oh, and if your bark's on cooldown, suddenly it's a whole problem, and that person might just straight up die if they're bad enough. This isn't to say Pebble's bad. Pebble's extremely good, one of the best characters in the game. But that's Pebble's biggest flaw, the stealth. So make sure you know what you're doing with Pebble. But Pebble is extremely good. No notes. Now, Tisha. Tisha's interesting. I think Tisha is probably one of the first... People might disagree with me, but I think Tisha is a distractor-leaning character. Or at least has the capability of it. Goob is the first, like, full-on, this is a distractor character most people will get. But Tisha's probably the first character people will have access to who has the capability of being a distractor. And that's because of one stat, the 4-star movement. Tisha can just outwalk a lot of things, especially with the right loadout. And her ability is kind of nice. It kind of doesn't matter, but every 50 seconds you can increase the movement speed of everyone around you for 5 seconds. Usually Tisha players just use it at the start of a floor so everyone's really fast for 5 seconds. It's kind of a meme. It doesn't really do much, but it's funny. But Tisha's very solid. 2-star extraction speed is kind of bad, but 4-star skill check, I mean, it kind of evens out. And then 2-star stamina is not great, but 4-star movement speed kind of evens out. So Tisha, I mean, is kind of like what Poppy should be, with largely balanced stats, but they're tweaked a little bit just to make her... She's like the opposite of Roger, almost. She leans more towards movement speed than doing machines, whereas Roger loses movement speed to do machines. I think Tisha is fine for what she is. She's outclassed by more expensive, more powerful toons, but she's very good at what she does. It's just that what she does is, you know, be Tisha. Not a whole lot. Now, interestingly, we're getting to a character that I think is a little bit slept on. Tegan. Tegan's interesting because the stats are extremely balanced, but you lose a star in stealth and put it into stamina. The main thing Tegan has, though, is the ability where every 100 seconds, just a long cooldown, you can spend 75 tapes to heal yourself for 1 health. This is very interesting, especially because of how balanced your stats are. It kind of makes Tegan into a survivalist, where your whole role is kind of just do whatever you want, and then if you get hurt, you heal yourself, don't rely on everyone else, and leave the healing items for everyone else. The interesting thing is the stealth to me. 2-star stealth, it almost feels like Tegan is supposed to be a distractor, which I could see. I think it's entirely possible that you could put on the right trinkets with Tegan, lead a bunch of Twisteds around. It's kind of like Brightney, where you're not amazing at it, but you can certainly do it. And if you get hurt at all, you can patch yourself up without needing to rely on your team. You also have the ability, since your stealth is low and you can heal yourself, if you see someone else in danger, you can just run in there, draw the Twisted to you, and if you need to, take a hit. You can heal it. The reliable healing is Tegan's best thing. I honestly think Tegan is very adaptable and has a lot of different ways that you can play. And I like it a lot. I think you can do a lot with Tegan. It's just that most people don't care because the stats are so balanced and they're just not a very flashy, fun, like outwardly fun character. But I like Tegan. Flutter is kind of bad. I'm sorry to say, because Flutter's very cute, but Flutter's kind of bad. Flutter does one thing, and that's be outclassed completely by Pebble's existence. Pebble has more movement speed than you, and the same stamina as you. And you're still bad at machines. Flutter and Pebble are both bad at machines, and Flutter and Pebble both have 3-star stealth. But Pebble has the bark to lower his stealth and draw Twisteds in, whereas Flutter gets a dash. It doesn't do much. You can just do a little dash. You know, if you could dash around a corner, or it just makes you really fast for like a second. It's really not much. I like Flutter, but if you're gonna distract with a main, you pick Pebble. And if you're gonna distract without a main, why would you pick Flutter when you could pick like Goob or Yada or someone and just be better at it? It's unfortunate because I really like Flutter, but Flutter is just kind of outclassed by a lot of different toons, and I honestly think Flutter needs a change of some sort. I've been brainstorming and I can't find an obvious change. Like, obviously I could just come up with anything. Oh, Flutter should be able to run up to Twisteds and hit them in the face with a baseball bat and kill them. Oh, that'd be awesome. But no, I don't know exactly. There's no easy, simple tweak that makes Flutter suddenly have a specific niche. And I think it's why you never see Flutter players. No one's ever playing Flutter because there's nothing Flutter does that another character can't do better. You can't do machines good, and if you're going to distract, pick someone else. It's really unfortunate. Shelly. We're back in the main category. Shelly is very good. The 5-star skill check and 3-star extraction speed, Shelly is a machine extracting machine. 2-star stamina is a little bit sucky, but it's certainly manageable. And then default in the other stats, you can deal with that. I mean, honestly, being this good at machines, you'd expect Shelly to be slow, but 3-star movement speed, you can work with that. Plus, Shelly is often much faster than that. Her secondary ability, the passive, you get a 25% movement boost whenever any machine is completed for 10 seconds. Everyone's just constantly popping machines all the time, and you don't even have to know about it. You just suddenly get faster. Shelly's most of the time moving faster than she's supposed to be. And then, on top of being good at machines and just randomly getting to be pretty fast, her main ability, you can run up to someone else who's doing a machine and boost their extraction speed by 75% for 15 seconds. You can only do it once a minute, but that is a crazy boost. Shelly just completely dominates machines and helps anyone else doing a machine do it like twice as fast. Shelly is extremely good. And honestly, people play Shelly. More people should play Shelly. Shelly is very, very good. I would not change a single thing. I would give her more skins. That's what I would change. She has a lot now. She needs even more. Polar opposite. Finn, I would change a lot. Finn is truly terrible. Because Finn is outclassed by Shelly, the character we just talked about. 4-star skill check compared to Shelly's 5. So worse at that. And then 3, 2, 3, and then 3. The stats are extremely similar to Shelly's, but just kind of worse. And then on top of that, Finn's ability is to get a movement speed boost when any machine is completed. Sure, it's a tiny bit bigger of a boost than Shelly's, but when you really look at it, Finn is just Shelly without the crazy good active ability. And also 4-star skill check instead of 5, so it's worse there too. Finn's bad. Like, Finn doesn't do much. And anything Finn can do, Shelly does better. So once you have Shelly, you should never ever play Finn. It's unfortunate. I don't fully know what should be done with Finn. The idea I was messing around with was, you know, his passive is to get a speed boost when a machine's done for 10 seconds, just like Shelly. Since Shelly has that passive, make Finn, like, get a permanent speed boost when a machine's done, just for the rest of the floor. You know, not a huge one, just make it kind of small. But then, you know, on long floors with lots of machines, over the course of the floor, Finn goes faster and faster. Suddenly, he has a gimmick of starting the floor by being okay at machines, but then later in the floor, he can distract if need be. Or just be extremely safe with how fast he is, like a survivalist. I think that would give him a good niche. But as he is now, I should put him in outclassed, but he's honestly so bad just by how outclassed he is. But if I put Toodles here, I'll put Finn here. The bad zone might just be for Poppy, honestly. No. We're moving some characters down. Just because I feel bad calling them even okay. They're kind of bad. Next up. Cosmo to the layman. Cosmo was interesting in that he was the first healer we got. I mean, we got Sprout at the same time, but you had to play Cosmo to get Sprout. So Cosmo was the first healer we got, not counting Deegan's ability to heal yourself. Cosmo, you can hurt yourself once a minute to give that health to someone else that you're looking at. Now that's nice. It's nice to be able to do that. It does mean that Cosmo can only heal as much as Cosmo has health, so you're constantly eating the bandages and medkits to heal everyone else. It also means that when you're not healing people, what are you doing? Well, not much else, because when you look at the stats, Cosmo is really bad at machines. The extraction speed is normal, but the skill check is terrible. 1-star skill check is really, really bad. It can make them pretty difficult. If you're good, you can get good at the bar one, but the circle one, the 1-star circle one, is truly hard to hit. And, you know, if you mess up a machine, then it stops going, and it's just not very good. He's not very good at machines. And then he's got 4-star stealth, 4-star stamina. Like, what is he supposed to do? He can't distract with that stealth and his normal movement speed. He's got stamina, but he doesn't need it because he's never being chased because of the stealth. Like, he kind of just walks around doing nothing. until someone gets hurt, and then he punches himself in the face to heal him. He's just not very good. I don't... Maybe my anti-Cosmo bias is showing. I'll put him in okay, just because being able to heal someone is very good, but he's so bad in every other regard. It's kind of crazy. Now, Glisten is gay, which means that he's S tier. For real though, Glisten's stats are very interesting to me. 2-star skill check, bad. 2-star stealth, bad when you're not trying to distract. But 5-star extraction speed. Glisten can eat up a machine like it's nothing. And the ability, honestly, has a bit of an overtuned cooldown, 100 seconds. But you can do it through walls. There's just a radius around you where you can highlight people around you and you can teleport to someone once every 100 seconds. You do need to have the awareness for this ability to be good, because if you warp to someone and there's a twisted nearby with your low stealth, it'll probably instantly start chasing you. So that kind of sucks. But if you're ever in danger, you can teleport out of it with your ability. It's very good. Glisten is a very good survivalist character who's good at machines. Especially with the 3-star movement speed, 3-star stamina. Most characters with this kind of utility are really slow. A lot of people don't play Glisten, and I think more people should. You need to manage yourself with your 2-star stealth. It's kind of like V in that, but unlike V, you can teleport out of danger. So Glisten's pretty good. I would not change much of anything. Held back a little bit by the 2-star stats from being very, very good, but I think Glisten goes right here in the good character tier. And you know what? Since I dropped the other characters earlier, I'm going to drop Boxton down to fine. No, actually, Boxton goes back up. Roger drops to fine. Fuck you, Roger. Spout. Sprout and Cosmo were added in the same update, and Sprout outclasses Cosmo immediately. Obviously, this is because Sprout is a main, but it's also just because Sprout is better. When you look at the stats, Sprout is also bad at machines, but not as drastically as Cosmo. It's still, 4. Cosmo had 1 and 3. Sprout has 2 and 2. But it's a more balanced bad, so you're not in danger of missing skill checks, probably. The real nice thing with Sprout is the other stats. 3-star stealth, you're not being chased very much unless you want to be. And maybe you do want to be, because you have 4-star movement speed and 5-star stamina. You can distract with Sprout very easily. And honestly, you probably want to, because the main thing Sprout wants to do is run around the whole floor, eating up items and turning them into money. This is because Sprout's active. You can spend 100 tapes to heal someone every 100 seconds. Long cooldown. Can't heal that fast. But this is great because you can heal someone without hurting yourself. You're just adding health into the round, converting, honestly, what is probably useless money into health for everyone else. So a very good strategy with Sprout is just distract the Twisteds and run around the whole floor, picking up all the items and using them for tapes, and then heal people when they get hurt. You also get the secondary ability to see everyone through walls by seeing their flashing health indicators through walls. This is great information, and that you can see who's distracting. You can see if they're moving towards you as long as you can tell who it is. So you know when you need to just duck out of sight, get out of danger. And also, if someone does get hurt, you can just see it across the whole map. You can say, oh dang, Boxton got bit in the bottom left corner of the map. Let me sprint over there and save his life. And you can do that. Sprout is super solid. My one complaint with Sprout is that he gets too many goddamn skins, but what are you going to do? Sprout's Quell's favorite or something. I don't know. Gigi is a funny character. Kind of a meme character, because, I mean, Gigi's the gambling character, and we all love gambling. At least kids on Roblox love gambling. Gigi has terrible stamina. Like, exceedingly terrible. It's really bad. You constantly are running out. But you get 5-star skill check, which is really good. Gigi can eat up a machine. Just as long as you hit the skill checks, you slap on participation award or whatever, you can do machines pretty fast. Gigi's main claim to fame is the ability. Every 80 seconds, you press F, and you get a random item added to your inventory from anything in the whole game. Entirely dependent on luck, this is either extremely good or extremely pointless. If you constantly are rolling stealth candies and protein bars and extraction candies, who cares? It doesn't matter. You're getting nothing. But if you're rolling bandages, med kits, stuff like that, that's really good. But there's one huge problem with Gigi's ability, and that's the ability to roll stopwatches, instructions, and jumper cables. Now, jumper cables and instructions are pretty good, so I'm not too mad about those. Stopwatch is the true killer. The problem is that all 3 of those items you can only use if you're touching a machine. So sometimes, if you don't really get to a machine and use them, or if your inventory is full of other stuff that you don't want to use, like bandages or something, your inventory is clogged because you need to get to a machine to use up this stuff that you can't get rid of. And if your inventory is clogged, then suddenly you can't use your ability because you don't have the space to give yourself an item. Also, once you fill your inventory with good items, like if you got, 2 bandages and a med kit, you don't have an ability anymore because, well, your inventory is full, so you can't give yourself items. But obviously that's kind of a suffering from success situation. Gigi's good. The stealth is pretty bad, or not the stealth, the stamina is pretty bad, but I don't think it matters because Gigi's just a very solid character in terms of being able to just generate items. Connie. Oh, Connie. What did they do to you? Nothing. You're exactly the same as when you entered the game, but... Listen, I like Connie. Connie's kind of bad. 5-star stealth is nice. Especially when Connie's whole thing is you're supposed to just kind of blend into the background and go do all the machines while everyone else does whatever. But there's 2 big problems. And they're the top 2 stats. You are so slow. One of the slowest characters in the whole game. The high stealth means you probably won't get into danger. But if you do get into danger, you're probably going to take damage. And then the low skill check is kind of counteracting the 4-star extraction speed. So even though you can get to a machine pretty safely, you probably won't do it that much faster than everyone else. It's kind of too bad. Now her main thing is her ability, which you can press a button to become invisible for 5 seconds. This is functionally the same as the smoke bomb item, where it just makes anything that can see you suddenly stop being able to see you for a couple seconds. Well, the biggest problem is that the cooldown is too long. She needs this ability. If she gets into a chase at all, she probably needs this ability to get away without taking damage. Which means that once you use it, you need to completely just hide until the cooldown's over, because you need it again for if you happen to get seen again. Also, it doesn't work against lethal twisteds, which is kind of stupid, but just don't let that happen. There's only 2 in the game, and you can just not deal with them if you don't want to. Oh, Connie. Connie has a great gimmick with being able to disappear from enemies and 5-star stealth, but she just doesn't quite do what she's supposed to do. There are other characters that do machines better than her and aren't completely dead in the water if they get spotted by a twisted. I personally would like to see her ability have more of a toggle state, You know, give her a meter that goes down while you're invisible, goes up when you're not, and you can press a button to turn it off and on. I mean, like with Bassie, we have an ability you can turn off and on, but she might need a redistribution of stats. Maybe give her, you know, 2-star stamina and 3-star skill check or something. Just she doesn't do what she's supposed to do, and I wish she could do what she's supposed to do because I love her, but she's just kind of outclassed by most other things in doing anything that she's supposed to do. Meanwhile, this balloon dog is peak. Louis is an extremely good distractor, and you might not think that because of the stats, but it all comes down to the ability. For each missing heart, you move faster. Essentially, plus one more star in movement speed. So basically, when you're at 3 HP, you have 3 movement speed. When you get hit and you go down to 2, suddenly you have 4 movement speed. If you get hit and go down to 1, you have 5 movement speed. And if you get healed back up, you go back to your normal movement speed. This is really good. It means that at 3 health, Louis is kind of just a, you know, kind of like Brightney with the lower stealth. You can distract normal things. But once there's a real threat with the Twisteds, you'll probably take a hit. But once you take that hit, you essentially turn into Goob, where you're fast and have 2-star stealth. And then if you happen to get hit again, you can get your movement speed up to 5 stars with 2-star stealth, which is as fast as Pebble, but without Pebble's 3-star stealth. It's 2-star. Louis is a really good distractor. It's just high risk, high reward, because you need to be at the right health state for what you want to do, and obviously, the more dangerous the situation, the faster you want to be, but the faster you are, the closer to dead you are. I think Louis is very good. Very, very fun risk-reward. I don't really have anything I would change about Louis because I think he's very perfect. If I really, really wanted to overtune him, you know, I would take a star out of extraction speed and put it into stamina or something. But Louis is great. Rudy, Merry Christmas. We're getting into our first event. Christmas, obviously. Every event starts with a toon that has completely balanced stats like Boxton and Poppy. Rudy's the first one of those. So, completely balanced, so it all comes down to the ability, which is a quick burst of speed, a quick dash. This is almost exactly the same as what Flutter has, but because you're on a completely balanced toon, we compare you to Boxton and Poppy, this is a nice ability. Rudy is not winning any awards. He doesn't shine or excel in any particular category. But you can do a lot with the balanced stats. You know, you can go do machines, you do them just fine. You can distract for a bit if you need to. And hey, with the speed boost, you can probably distract and then get out of the situation pretty easily too. I really have not much to say about Rudy, but I think he just fits in very well with the other completely balanced stat characters and having his specific niche that might make you pick him sometimes. Now, Ginger is my favorite healer in the game. She used to have a completely busted thing that was like Cosmo's, but super long range, and it was it was really crazy. She completely negated anything Cosmo could ever do. So they gave what she used to do to Cosmo, and Cosmo is still kind of bad, but they gave it to Cosmo, and now she does something else, and she's still really good. We look at the stats. It's close to balanced, but she moved the star out of movement speed into stealth. That's perfectly fine. Unlike Cosmo, she can do machines. This is a better stat spread than Cosmo. You can go do machines, but you have the higher stealth to keep yourself from taking damage. That's great. And then her heal, you have a little circle around you, a little radius, where if someone's near you, you can hold the button to start filling up a bar on them. And once the bar is full, you spend 100 tapes to heal them to full HP. Completely full. That means that if someone has 3 HP and they get hurt down to 1, you can spend 100 tapes to heal them up to 3. Sprout spends 100 tapes to heal 1 HP. Ginger can spend to heal 2. And the really crazy thing is a lot of people seem to think that the person who's getting healed needs to stop next to the Ginger. Just stop moving and let the Ginger heal you. Yeah, you can do that, but you can do this while moving. So you can have a distractor who's distracting, leading the Twisteds around, but they're missing HP. With your high stealth, they won't notice you. You can get in there and walk with them while holding the button, and you can fill up the bar and heal them while they're distracting without them having to stop at all. And then on top of this, you're good at machines. Well, not good, but you're fine at machines. Out of all the healers, Ginger is extremely balanced and extremely versatile. We love that for her. I think her heal is extremely underutilized by people these days. Maybe she'll get her time in the limelight before long. Cole, I don't have as many kind words for. Because Cole is bad Pebble. You're bad at machines, and you're good at distracting. But you're not quite as good at distracting as Pebble is, but you're better at machines than Pebble is. But why are you doing machines? If you look at it, the stats are exactly the same as Flutter's, and we were talking about how Flutter's stats aren't very helpful with what Flutter is trying to be, and how Flutter is completely outclassed by Pebble. And then we look at Cole's ability. You can press a button to highlight all the items on the map for everyone for 10 seconds. This is not as useful as the other highlighting abilities, like highlighting the machines and the Twisteds. I really don't know what Cole is supposed to do. I mean, you're better than Flutter, because Flutter's speed boost isn't helpful at all. At least the item thing is more of a secondary thing you can do. But again, you're completely and utterly outclassed by Pebble. It's just not a good place to be when Pebble exists. Now, Bobette is an interesting one because of the stealth. 2-star stealth with 3-star movement. It's not a great look. You don't really want to be distracting like that, but you can if you need to. 2-star extraction and 4-star skill check. You're okay at machines, but you're a little slow on them, but at least you got the skill check to try and make up for it. 5-star stamina. I guess you're a beast. You can run around. And in her defense, unlike the other high stamina toons, she probably does need to run around. With the low stealth, you can use your stamina to distract for a quick period if you need to. And on top of that, you have an ability to get out of it. You have an active ability to put yourself into a box for 8 seconds, where you just stop moving and everything loses you. And they all wander away from you, and then you get out of the box. This is great. You can, with your stamina and your low stealth, you can run in, pull Twisteds off someone, lead them somewhere far away, and then get into the box, and you're completely safe. Twisteds walk away, you're safe, you get out of the box. This is great. On top of this, you're passive. You have a circle around you, where if anyone stands near you, they passively regenerate their stamina 50% faster. They also get a little speed boost that when they're next to you, that lasts for 5 seconds when they run away from you. Which, she didn't used to have that. They added that in an update at one point. It's nice. It's not a big thing, but it means that Bobette's kind of a support. You draw Twisteds off people to get them away from someone in danger, and you can give people stamina just by hanging around them. Bobette's very solid. She's not winning any awards. She doesn't have any crazy niche like Pebble or Astro, but she's still good at what she does. Yada was the turning point. This is when I knew we were gonna get completely busted twisted toons added to the game. First, I want to say that Yada's ability is really bad. It doesn't really matter at all. When you complete a machine, 2 random candy items are dropped on the ground, and when you get hit by a twisted, 4 random candy items are dropped on the ground. It doesn't really matter. Sometimes you get a box of chocolates, which is a nice item, but all the others, it doesn't really matter. Who cares about this, really? It's free tapes, I guess. The stats, though. 2-star stealth and 4-star movement speed, you can distract pretty easily. You have really low stamina, so high stress, high danger distracting situations are not quite your forte. That's more for Pebble or maybe Goob with the 4-star stamina, but you can deal with most distracting situations just fine. On top of that, 3-star skill check and 5-star extraction speed. 5-star? 5-star. She is crazy good at machines. This is V if V could move. This is Connie if Connie could get away from things and was better at machines. Yada is just good at everything. She crushes machines and she crushes distracting. Yada can do everything. She doesn't have a good ability, but she well makes up for it with her stats. They are crazy. Eggson, we're getting into Easter, is our next completely balanced stat toon. So what's the ability? Well, the first time you touch a machine, you hit it, and it gets 20% completion. And it's per machine, so you can then get off that machine, go find another one, touch it, hit it, get it 20% completion, leave it, go find another machine, give it 20% completion. Kind of means that what you're supposed to do is wander around the floor and touch every machine once. But I don't know. It kind of, with the balanced stats, I mean, your whole thing, the whole point of Eggson is you kind of just wander around and look for machines and then touch them and don't finish them and leave them for someone else because you're too busy looking for the other machines. It's fine. It's a fine gimmick to have. I don't think it's crazy good. I kind of feel like you could just pick someone who can do the machine completely on their own. And I mean, I guess if you don't bother wandering to the other machines, it just means that every machine that you do gets a quick 20% completion thing done on it, which is nice. Kind of like Boxton, in a way, in that you make the machines be done faster. But I don't know. He doesn't inspire me. Maybe it's because he's an old man. I prefer to play as cute girls. I don't know. He doesn't inspire much in me. Flight is an interesting character, I think. Flight is decent at machines. 2-star skill check, 4-star extraction speed. You can do machines. Skill checks are kind of an issue, but you can do the machines pretty quickly. 4-star movement is nice. You have 3-star stealth, but 4-star movement is pretty nice. You can distract if you need to in a pinch. And 2-star stamina isn't great, but it's enough to get out of a sticky situation and just run around the map if you want to. The ability is interesting. You can drop a little tornado on the ground that lasts for 10 seconds, and anyone, including you, that touches it gets a 15% movement speed boost for 3 seconds. 15% isn't all that much. It's not as much as 1 extra star, but I mean, you can just drop a speed boost for people. Sometimes this can come in clutch. Sometimes it doesn't really matter. It's kind of like Tisha, but you drop it on the ground and it lasts for longer than Tisha's because Tisha's just a quick little burst. She's also, Flight is also as fast as Tisha, so while also being better extraction speed-wise at machines. So Flight's pretty balanced stat-wise, kind of versatile, but is kind of just a better Tisha. I like Flight's little speed-based support niche. I have no problems with flight. Coco is an interesting character because of the ability and the stat spread. 2-star extraction speed, 3-star skill check. You are worse than normal at machines. 4-star stealth means that you don't get attacked very often, so your whole thing is to do the machines, but you're not as good at them as you could be. Not terrible, though. Not terrible at them. So you're not as bad as, say, Cosmo. You do also get 4-star movement speed, which means that in a pinch you can get away from things pretty easily. You can get around the map pretty fast. Very solid character, stat-wise, I think. The ability is the real nice thing. Every 40 seconds, you can generate a bonbon, which is an item you put on the ground, that anyone can pick up. And I mean, hell, you can pick it up and use it yourself. And when you use it, it gives you extraction speed plus 50% and movement speed plus 25% for 10 seconds. This means that you're constantly generating items that people can use to get tapes, which is great for the healers, Sprout and Ginger, and I guess Tegan also. And also, you can use it while you're on a machine to finish it faster, or you could use it in a pinch to run away from Twisteds faster. Coco is a decently versatile character that drops an item that literally everyone else can find a situation to just pick up and use. And since it's just a free item that she's generating all the time, there's really no downside. Anyone can just pick it up and use it whenever. Coco is just a pretty solid character. She does what she's supposed to do. She's kind of a support with the item, and I think she does a pretty good job at it. Speaking of support, my favorite character, Bassie. Bassie might be the most unique character in the game because she has one thing that no one else can do, her number one ability. She can put down items. Anything that she has, she can drop it on the ground for someone else. No one else can do this. She also gets a 4th inventory slot. And if you look at her stats, she's fast. She's so fast. 5-star movement, 4-star stamina, 4-star stealth. She's extremely fast and is never really in danger because of the higher stealth. She is terrible at machines. 1-star skill check and 2-star extraction. She is truly really bad at machines. It kind of sucks for her. But that's fine, because her role is a very special role. Because she's so fast and she's not really in any danger, her job is to run around the map, and any bad items that no one really wants or needs, just use them for money. And anything useful, pick it up and hold it. And then run around the map looking for everyone else, give the items that people might want to them, and then when you get to Dandy's shop, any money you got from using the bad items, buy useful items and give them to everyone else. You can stockpile healing items and give them to other people. You can find extraction things and give them to the people who are good at machines. Bassie's whole job is just to give everyone the items that they should want all the time. And that's her job as a support. No one else can do it. And on top of that, with her great speed stats, in a pinch, if no one's near her, she can distract. If anyone gets close, the stealth is a problem. But as long as no one else is nearby, Bassie can distract pretty easily because, I mean, she's got pebble stats. Bassie is my favorite character, and honestly, I think one of the best support characters in the entire game. We love Bassie in this house. Blot is also a very unique character. Now we look at these stats and they are pretty similar to what we were just looking at, where you're fast, high stamina, bad at machines. So you can distract with Blot. The thing Blot has, though, is the ability where for the cost of 10 tapes every 60 seconds, well, the cooldown of 60 seconds, you spend 10 tapes, you drop a little Blot Jr., a little guy on the ground, who has super low stealth and 1 HP. Which means that you essentially drop a little decoy on the ground that all the Twisteds are drawn to, that they then hit and kill, and you just run away. Blot is a very solid distractor, and the decoy has a lot of potential uses. I'm not a huge Blot player, but I think it's not a real shock to say that Blot is a very good distractor and has a lot of specific use cases where he just completely shines. Brusha, or as some people say, Brusha. Brusha's pretty interesting. She's added pretty recently, and her stats are fairly balanced. She actually has 2-star stealth and 4-star skill check. I think the 2-star stealth is her biggest problem. She doesn't really want to be chased, and it's kind of a pain in the ass when you're getting chased. But with the 4-star skill check and the 3-star extraction, you're decent at machines. Any skill checks will help you finish them much faster. The thing is that she's a support. You have a toggle ability that when you use it, you enter painting mode, where you move slower. You essentially lose a star of movement speed. You move at 2-star speed while you're painting. But you have a circle around you, and anyone standing in it gets 50% skill check boost. This essentially means that you can do machines fine, but your real job is to find someone else doing a machine and just stand next to them to make them do it faster with their skill checks. I think this is a fine niche. It's a perfectly fine supportive role. It's not the most thrilling gameplay because your job is kind of just to stand near someone, which I mean Bobette also does, but Bobette can do her other stuff too. But with the stats, you're kind of a jack of all trades. There's a lot of things you can do with Brusha to just be kind of a general supportive, helpful teammate. So I don't have many complaints. I think she's pretty good. Rebecca, we're getting into Halloween. Rebecca is completely balanced, or yet another completely balanced event toon. With the passive that she is immune to all applied debuffs. So any of the tired debuffs or slow debuffs, or there's a couple different debuffs that some dangerous Twisteds can put on you and situations can put on you, and she's immune to all of them. It's honestly pretty nice. It's honestly a pretty nice passive to have. It means that you're like the ultimate jack of all trades, can do anything in any situation, and nothing can stop you or prevent you from being as solid as you normally are. I think Rebecca is probably one of the perfect blank slate characters to try and use trinkets to specialize a build onto. You know, do a mid-tier distractor build, be okay at machines. You could do a lot with Rebecca. And out of all of the balanced stat characters, she's probably my favorite. I think if we're being factual, Boxton is probably the best of them. Just because the extraction speed thing is actually really good if you have a full lobby. But I think Rebecca's pretty good, and I don't have anything bad to say about her. Sylvester is a funny guy. He's kind of like Connie on crack. 5-star skill check, 5-star extraction speed. You are the best anyone in the entire game can be at machines. No one is better at them than you. But you have 1-star movement and 1-star stamina. So when it comes to being in danger, no one is in more danger than you. Everything wants to kill you and will kill you. Now to make up for this, you have 3-star stealth, so anyone with lower stealth can just easily protect you. And your passive, you get to have 4 HP instead of 3. And luckily they also made you immune to the ranged Twisteds, aka Goob and Scraps, which is very nice because with how slow you are, they would just snipe you out of nowhere and there'd be nothing you could do about it. Sylvester is high risk, high reward. The risk is that you're slow as hell and everything can kill you. And if something gets on you and starts hitting you, it's hard even to get away after they hit you. They'll probably just keep hitting you. But once you're on a machine, you finish it faster than anyone else in the whole game. I think it's a really funny gimmick. It's a great gimmick to have. It's kind of like what Razdaz are trying to do on the odd number floors, but better. I would put Sylvester in, honestly, in very good, because listen, the 1-stars are really bad. The 1-star movement and stamina is really bad, but for what he's trying to do, he accomplishes it. So as long as you're careful and you know what you're doing, this is a great character. Eclipse. An interesting, largely balanced stat spread, but with honestly the perfect change you could want: 2-star stealth and 4-star movement. This is exactly what you want in a balanced distractor stat spread. And on top of that nicely balanced stat spread where you can distract but also do machines if you want to, her passive means that in a blackout, she turns into a werewolf. She gets 2 stamina stars and a 20% movement speed boost, which essentially is another star. So essentially, she becomes 5-star movement, 5-star stamina in a blackout, which is even better than Pebble. She moves at Pebble speed, but has better stamina than even Pebble. Now, this does have the same downside as Brightney, where if there's not a blackout, you don't have an ability. So, in good conscience, I can't say that she's better than Brightney, because, I mean, not having an ability kind of sucks. But the stat spread is really nice. Jack of all trades, but a nice little lean into the distractor side. Eclipse is a good character. It just sucks to have your ability not exist for 90% of the game. Now, Gordy, is the only toon I don't have, so I didn't get a nice little screenshot like everyone else. I'll just edit it in post. But Gordy's stats, he's a main, so 2 HP, but he's got the 5 skill check, 4 movement, and 5 extraction speed, but then 1 stamina, 1 stealth. Gordy is maybe the most min-maxed character in the entire game, which would make sense because of how recent Gordy is. 5 in both machine stats is crazy. You can do machines as good as Sylvester, and I said Sylvester does them better than anyone in the game. On top of this, you have the 1-star stealth and 4-star movement, so you're good at distracting and can pull a Twisted off of pretty much anyone else in the game. Gordy is just extremely good at anything you want him to do. The abilities are kind of whatever to make up for how good and min-maxed the stats are. His active lets you apply a random stat boost for 15 seconds to anyone in a circle around you, kind of like a spread Toodles. It doesn't really matter, who cares? Because it's random, you can never really plan for it to be useful, but you could try. And then your passive, you give a 20% speed boost to all players for 5 seconds when the elevator opens at the start of a floor and when panic mode begins at the end of a floor. It's nice. It means that, you know, everyone gets like the Tisha speed boost at starting a floor, and that also at the end of a floor everyone can get back a little bit easier. They're kind of nothing ability-wise, kind of just whatever. But the stat spread is so crazy min-max that Sprout has to go in the top tiers. Or not Sprout, Gordy. Gordy is just completely crazy. Completely crazy. And then lastly, opposite problem. I have Squirm right here, but this tier list doesn't have Squirm on it for some reason, so I'll edit Squirm in post. Squirm is interesting. It's our most recent toon. The stat spread, 2-star stamina, 2-star stealth, kind of whatever. But 5-star extraction. You are built to do machines, especially with the ability, which lets you walk up to a bookshelf, which a bunch of maps just have bookshelves on them now. And you can hold down your button to eat books on them, and they give you 100% extraction speed for 10 seconds. This essentially means that if there's a bookshelf near a machine, you eat a bunch of books, get on the machine, that machine's done faster than you can blink. The 2-star stealth does get in the way of what Squirm is trying to do, which is unfortunate. But is that really an issue? I think for what Squirm is trying to do, Squirm does it very well, and it's a nice niche. You're balanced enough and you move fast enough that if you are in danger, you can get away, probably. Only in a really dangerous situation do you maybe need help to get out of it. The 2-star stealth does kind of suck. But you do machines very well. So, Squirm is good. Not much more to say about Squirm. And with that, that's every character. Oh shit. That's every character. Now, what I have to say about this list as a whole, well, for one, obviously, it's just my opinion. What I really think, though, since we're in the Toon of the Week format is just coming out, I would really love to see the toons in the... Not all the toons in the bad zone, mostly just Poppy and Finn. But in the outclassed zone, I think Scraps and Flutter and Cosmo's fine because he can heal. But Connie, I think all those toons down there just need a little bit of love. Move the stats around a little bit, tweak the ability a little bit. They just need a little bit of something to make them have more of a niche because, well, I mean, really everything under the good character tier, even the fine tier, most of these characters are completely outclassed by usually more than one other character. But overall, conclusion, high school thesis statement. I love Dandy's World. This game is really fun, and I really like how different all the characters are and all the different niches they fill. So I'm really hoping that the later updates add more interesting characters and balance the existing ones. Also balance the trinkets, most of them suck. Okay, thanks, bye.